How perfect is your cup of coffee this morning? Thanks, Rob.
Please join me this morning in saying, hello, Ross. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Let's get this party started. Come on board, everybody. Come on.
Do you have the same theme song? Bad boys, what you gonna do?
If you need a job, you just might have one by the end of the day. Wouldn't that be nice?
First, I need to talk about a rumor that started spreading a few days ago that you actually had a secret wedding, which would be your first wedding, by the way. Is there any truth to this rumor?
A lot of people probably know that you were a prosecutor.
Yes.
And then, of course, you made the switch to television. How did that happen?
I'm extra happy to talk to you this morning because it was reported earlier this week that you were dead, that you fell off a cliff while filming a movie in New Zealand. This is not true, right? You actually are alive. Do you think this will be a year for Bryan Cranston and Breaking Bad? They've been nominated before 7 times, never won a Golden Globe.
The Kern County Fire Department has until today to come up with an offer to stay with the city of Delano. A boxing promoter now says he is calling off a match between rapper DMX and George Zimmerman.
Who do they look up to?
Just people shorter than you look up to.
You know what?
Do they just snap? How does a seemingly normal person become a cold-blooded killer?
We just found this out a couple minutes ago that we weren't going to have weather, so this is what I did. Very high tech here, 33 degrees right now outside, sunny and clear all 3 days, so your forecast for the weekend looks fantastic. Completed 50 marathons in 50 consecutive days. How do you have the endurance to do that? When it's cold out, I want to gain a little weight so I have an extra layer to keep me warm.
You need that blood.
You know what I mean?
Insulation.
The other guy did have a better tan, but you know what? The ladies are watching this morning. The Kern County Sheriff's Bomb Squad has been called to the Laredo Highway off-ramp on Highway 99 for a report of a suspicious object.
Now, with all due respect, you and your colleagues are getting paid during this shutdown, but about 800,000 government workers are not. In this economy, many of us can't afford to lose 1 day of pay, let alone 4 days or more than that. So how much consideration are you giving those people? One more thing you can do to prevent varicose veins and spider veins is to kick off your heels and put on flats, taking as much pressure off your feet as possible. Powdered milk should go on your must-have list, but as with any food item, you have to think about proper storage. You can escape through a fake Berlin Wall or go outside and see a piece of the real thing.
You were just listening to Governor Jerry Brown give the State of the State address. That is an annual address that he gives, of course, coming to you from Sacramento. There were actually some humorous moments, especially in the beginning of his speech, starting out by saying that he came to Sacramento in 1959 and he remembered looking up at his father giving his State of the State. Then he joked, of course, that his message is no substitute for experience. Governor Brown, as you may know, is 75 years old. News from Hollywood this morning. It looks like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are ready to take their relationship to the next level. E! News is now confirming that the couple of nearly 2 years is engaged.
Wow.
I know. The lovebirds first met in 1998 when they played Jackie and Kelso on TV's That 70s Show. Kutcher popped the question and gave Kunis a large diamond ring to make it official. It's the first marriage for Kunis and the second for Kutcher, who finalized his divorce from Demi Moore in November. I really like them together. What do you think? We do have a commuter alert right now. An accident happened at about 7 o'clock this morning, about 20 minutes ago, on the southbound side of the 99 at Rosedale. Only one lane open right now. We don't know for sure. It could be rain related because we do have some slick roads out there. A big rig and a car are involved. No word on injuries, but we'll keep following this story and bring you the very latest. Yeah. It's a new smartphone every Mission Impossible fan would love to own. Boeing has now created a cell phone that self-destructs if it gets into the wrong hands. The company made the Boeing Black for government and homeland security employees, but it's not as dramatic as it sounds. The self-destruct feature simply erases all its data if someone tries to break into the phone. Pretty cool, though. A college basketball game gets way out of hand as an unsportsmanlike maneuver sparks a brawl, and it's caught on camera.
We got a fight going on. We got a fight. New Mexico State.
The crowd storms the court. After Utah Valley beat New Mexico State on their home floor last night, the Wolverine fans stormed the court. As time ran out, New Mexico's Casey Ross Miller fired the basketball at a UV player, and a full-on brawl broke out with both fans and players fighting, as you can see right there. Utah Valley won 66-61. New Mexico State will be playing the CSUB men's basketball tomorrow night at Rabobank Arena. Hopefully there will not be a brawl at the Rabobank. Get out your fishing gear because Bakersfield is giving you a reason to use it, that's for sure. Tomorrow, the Sheriff's Activities League is holding its annual fishing derby, and a trophy will be given for the biggest catch. Money raised at the event will go to the Sheriff's Activities League, a nonprofit that provides after-school programs for at-risk kids. So if you like to fish, you can do it. The event is tomorrow at Mirror Lake in Hart Park. Check-in is at 7 a.m. The derby runs from 8 until noon, and it doesn't matter if it rains. Head on out. This is a great story. A 7-year-old Los Los Angeles boy has raised $750,000 to help his best friend who's battling a rare life-threatening liver disease. Dylan Siegel told his mom he wanted to write a book to raise money to find a cure for his sick friend Jonah. Jonah has glycogen storage disease type 1B, a disease that affects 1 in a million people. That's when Dylan decided to write Chocolate Bar, the book. Jonah's family says every cent raised goes to medical research to find a cure for GSD. Dylan says he wants to raise $1 million to help Jonah. By the way, Chocolate Bar is an expression Dylan uses, which means awesome. You can read about Chocolate Bar, the book, on our website. Just click on Eyewitness News Mornings. $750,000. He's so young. That's awesome that he raised that. We have new information on a man who was shot in southeast Bakersfield. This morning, police tell us that 57-year-old Jimmy Lee Wallace died at the scene. Officers say the shooting happened last night on Watts Drive near Madison Street. That's where police say they found Wallace suffering from major injuries. No word on what prompted the shooting or whether any arrests were made. And new information on a crash that happened in southwest Bakersfield. We are now learning that a motorcyclist who was hit by a car last night has died. The accident happened just after 10 o'clock at the intersection of Ming Avenue and Acres Road. Police say the driver of a red sedan was turning onto Acres when he hit the motorcycle. The biker was taken to a hospital where he died. The victim's name has not been released. One couple's golden find could mean a jackpot for the IRS. Earlier this week, we showed you the Northern California couple who found $10 million in gold coins buried by their property. You may remember this story. Well, it turns out that a chunk of that must go to Uncle Sam. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, the IRS tax guide cites that the coins are taxable under a 1969 federal court ruling called treasure trove. This means if you find and keep property that's been lost or abandoned, it is taxable to you. The report also says about 47% will go to state and federal tax. The couple says they plan to sell most of the coins on Amazon in May while holding on to a few to pay off bills and donate to local charities. Even after taxes, when you start with $10 million, you probably end up with, I don't know, $5 million or so. Not too shabby for a nice little walk on your property. The Sportsman's RV and Boat Show kicks off this weekend, showing off the newest boats and RVs. There's so much to do there. Josh Helmuth is live at the Kern County Fairgrounds with what's new this year. Are you staying dry right now? It's still not known whether a Bakersfield couple will face charges after their 6-year-old son was left home alone and wound up missing for several hours. He was eventually found, but it now raises the question, at what age can a child be left at home by themselves? Here's our Jose Gaspar with the story. This leads us to this morning's Facebook question, at what age can a child be left home alone? Lisa says, you gotta do what you gotta do to work and support your kids. It's easy for us to sit and judge when you're not in the situation. Lynette says, 6 is not okay. That's far, far, far too young. My 14-year-old babysits, and when she does, she is in constant contact with myself. She's responsible and does good, but I would say 10 and up. But that really depends on the maturity of the child. I know 16-year-olds I wouldn't want to leave in charge of a freaking goldfish. Linda says 12 or 13 for a short period of time. Susanna says, I have a neighbor who has 5 kids and leaves them with the oldest, who is 12, and sometimes the 2-year-old is out running in the middle of the street while she's inside watching TV. You still have time to join the conversation. We would love it if you would. Like us on Facebook, Eyewitness News Bakersfield Now.
This is Eyewitness News. Now, breaking news.
A lot of activity overnight right now in Watertown and so many of the cities around there. We're talking about Newton, Arlington, Waltham, Belmont, Cambridge, Alston, Brighton. They're basically saying all of Boston, you should stay indoors right now. Do not open the door to anybody unless it is a very obvious police officer, because they are going door to door looking for suspect number 2 in the Boston Marathon bombing. Suspect number 1, and they are now telling us that they are brothers. Suspect number 1 has been shot in a shootout with police and he has died. And right now, the authorities are asking the reporters in that area that you're looking at right now to leave that area. We don't know if there's a threat of a bomb, but obviously they're saying that suspect number 2 is armed and dangerous. He could have guns, he could have more explosives on him. We do have 2 names. The second suspect, the 19-year-old, he's the one, if you saw the pictures yesterday, he's the one in the white hat, the second suspect that you saw. He is identified this morning as Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. The 20-year-old brother, also from Chechnya, as Rob just mentioned, he is dead this morning, and his name is Tamerlan Tsarnaev. He is reported dead this morning. Also, during all the events that happened last night, there was a campus police officer at MIT, that's the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He was shot and killed during a shootout. The 2 suspects then apparently hijacked a Mercedes-Benz, I believe, and they did not injure the driver of that car. He was then let go about a half an hour later. But someone else, a transit authority worker, was injured, and he is in surgery right now.
Okay, we will keep you up.
Downtown Portland, Oregon. We told you about this about 25 minutes ago. A woman somehow got stuck, wedged between two buildings. Apparently, rescue workers are now getting her out of that spot. No word on how she actually fell, but this is a parking garage wall. She fell between two buildings and got stuck down there. This happened at about 4 o'clock this morning, almost 3.5 hours ago. A passerby heard a scream, and the woman was found in a tight space at the Gretchen Kafuri Commons. Not sure exactly if that's some sort of a mall or what it is. TV station there in Oregon, in Portland, says firefighters first tried a rope rescue and then they decided to cut through the concrete block wall to free her. You can see the opening right now. The rescue workers, it appears that they're very close to her, trying to pull her out. I have no idea how far that distance is between the two walls, but if she's stuck in there, that looks like her hand right now. Now, more than 3,000 acres have burned, only 10% contained. Massive smoke you can see right there. Strong winds, dry fuels have been hampering efforts to stop this fire. Again, 10% contained. A couple of areas were evacuated yesterday. It broke out yesterday afternoon. The Hungry Valley State Park and Piru Creek Campground, they were evacuated. There are reports that at one point they were going to evacuate Fraser Mountain High School, but school had already let out for the day, so they didn't do that. However, Fraser Mountain High School is canceled for the day. If you have a student who goes there, they should stay home. At this moment, it appears no structures are immediately threatened. Of course, that could change, and we will keep you updated on any more information. We are about to have a humongous party out here outside the Eyewitness News studios. This is Gina Davis. You are the owner of Entourage Limousines?
Yes.
How long have you had this company?
A few years. It's a process to get the licensing and the insurance and all that. When you rent a party bus, make sure you get somebody that's insured and properly insured by the state of California. Make sure they have that TCP number on there, or it could be dangerous.
Right, and the reason we're talking about this now is because this is prom week for us here on Eyewitness News. We're doing a lot of fun things all week. I thought you were going to come in a regular limousine, but this is a full-on party bus.
Yeah.
So we need to show people what it's all about, right? Let's get this party started. Come on board, everybody. Come on. This is Artie. He is the driver of this bus. Gina, come on. You want to be a part of the party? Let's go. All right, can we get some music up in here? Because we really need to start rocking out. It is Hump Day Wednesday. Aaron Perlman's on the bus. Yeah! Woo! Come on in. All right, guys. So if you're going to prom, you can fill these seats. We've got video. We've got Aaron Perlman. We've got dancing. Gina, come on. Let's dance. Okay. Artie, how do you like working for Entourage?
Love working for them. Great people to work for.
What's it like prom night when you've got all these kids in here? They're all dressed to the nines. What's it like?
It's exciting mainly for the kids. I love when the kids have a good time. That means I did my job, everybody goes home happy, and we all have a good time.
And here's the most important thing. The kids are safe. They will have a safe ride. You're in charge. You take them around where they need to go, right? And they're all with their dates having a great time that they will remember forever.
Yes, they do. They always do.
What do you think? Go ahead.
That's how they roll.
That is how they roll. That's how we roll. Hey, Aaron, what's up?
Good.
How do you like being on the prom bus?
This is like the best bus I've ever been a part of. I want to be on this every day.
I've never seen a bus like this. It's so much fun. What do you think the coolest thing about the Entourage bus is?
Oh, definitely the music. They can plug in their own music, listen to this music, dance. You don't have to be all crouched down in a limousine. It's awesome.
It's so cool. And it's dark in here. You've got the neon lights. Why would you not want to take part of the Entourage bus, right?
You don't even need to sit down the bus, although you probably should, but who wants
Yeah, let me ask you about that. Do they have to sit down, or can you be driving and they can be back here dancing when the bus is moving?
That's why I'm here. Make sure that everybody is in good, happy, and exciting moment. So it's good for them. And they're very safe.
Okay, well, we have some more proms coming up in Kern County. Gina, if people want to take the party bus, who do they call?
Entourage Limousine, our number's on the side of the bus. We have a website, entouragelimousine.com, and we do proms, formals, weddings, wine tours.
Wine tours?
Oh, definitely.
Now, I'm not going to prom anymore, but I can definitely go on a wine tour.
Yes.
Thank you both so much. We have some dancing to do, so Rob, we'll toss it back to you. See ya!
When a woman announces that she's having a baby, friends and family immediately start planning a shower, suggesting baby names, and shopping for pink or blue. But it's the stuff you don't hear much about that affects pregnant women all over the world. And the future mom in our story, you might just recognize. Seeing them sleep, grabbing their tiny feet, and watching them grow. This is what most moms-to-be dream of. But conveniently missing from those dreams, varicose veins, spider veins, and stretch marks. Just ask future mom, Eyewitness News anchor, Amity Idrisi.
Now, how did you feel when you first found out that you were pregnant?
I was scared. I was really scared, but I was excited too. It was amazing. It's
not as amazing? The body changes Amity is noticing.
This is just how my body is. I'm not 22 anymore.
Here's the good news. There are things you can do to deal with these unsightly or uncomfortable changes.
Prevention and treatment are now the name of the game, and that's why we're talking more and more about it now.
So let's get into it. Veins. What you may not know is that varicose veins and spider veins are not the same thing.
Varicose veins are deeper veins deep in your skin, and spider veins are small spider leg looking veins right underneath your skin.
Both can be prevented. Dr. Shaw suggests buying compression maternity stockings.
They provide compression on your outer leg so that the veins can't form. Another way to prevent these is to keep your legs elevated.
One more thing you can do to prevent varicose veins and spider veins is to kick off your heels and put on flats, taking as much pressure off your feet as possible. Ready to talk stretch marks? They're caused when the elasticity of your skin can't handle the amount of stretch put on it.
What you see is the epidermis and the dermis of the skin actually tearing apart from each other and thinning out.
Dr. Shaw suggests preventing stretch marks in the first place.
One thing that you can do is minimize the amount of stretching on the skin by watching your weight and exercising during pregnancy. Another thing that you can do is to moisturize your skin to help it slide better.
Amity's been using vitamin E oil to hydrate her skin.
I was just rubbing it on so I don't get stretch marks.
The third thing you can do is wear a special girdle, particularly helpful while you're sleeping.
They make much cuter ones, actually.
They're cuter ones?
Yeah. Spanx makes a good one.
The girdle supports your back, but also wraps around your abdomen, holding your skin together in the front. It should cover the baby, but not push it in.
I'm getting used to a lot of things like eating.
Regardless of all the changes Amity is going through, this mom-to-be says this is the most incredible thing that could ever happen.
Knock on wood, so far it's been a good pregnancy, and I feel really blessed. Aww, you make me cry.
A natural disaster can strike at any moment, and being prepared can make the difference between life and death. We met up with local emergency experts to find out how to build your own disaster food kit and make sure it doesn't expire before you need it most.
What if there's no electricity, no water, no food, the grocery shelves are bare because everybody panicked?
It may sound extreme, but when disaster strikes, these normally packed store shelves can quickly go from this to this. Completely bare.
I know from living in an area where we've had some disasters that there's no time to think about getting it together.
The American Red Cross recommends packing an emergency preparedness kit with food because families may need to fend for themselves for an extended period of time.
We recommend that you can have supplies for you and your entire family for 2 weeks, at the minimum 3 days.
We met up with the Red Cross in Northwest Bakersfield to find out what your kit should include. In the event of a disaster, we want to make sure that we're getting our nutrients. What do you recommend for that?
Canned vegetables are really good for that. You can have green beans, there's carrots, they usually don't have to be cooked.
If the vegetables are pre-cooked, you can eat them right out of the can. That goes for soup too, but condensed soups or those containing meat may be more risky.
I have some dry roasted peanuts. These are really good because they have a lot of protein in them. You can also purchase them in bulk and they don't expire for a really long time.
It's also important to have comfort food around for the little ones.
Kids like crackers. They like little goldfish crackers. Those will last good if you keep them airtight. Cookies might not last as long, but the tighter that you keep them sealed, the longer they'll last.
The Red Cross suggests adding peanut butter, jelly, and honey to your kit as well to spread on crackers.
We have some saltine crackers. We did pick the unsalted. It's really important whenever you're packing an emergency preparedness kit. You don't want items that have too much salt in them because then that means it's going to make you thirsty and then you're going to use up a lot of your emergency water.
We can't survive without water. It's the most important item to have in your kit. You'll need at least 1 gallon per person per day. And right here, this is a perfect example. This is a gallon of water.
Powdered milk should go on your must-have list, but as with any food item, you have to think about proper storage. This cardboard will not provide the protection you need.
Good ways to store items: keep them in a mason jar or even an old Gatorade or water bottle, because they screw tight. So they're airtight, they're plastic or glass, so pests can't get in.
Another option is sealing your food in Mylar bags. Anything dry, such as tea, mashed potatoes, popcorn, and soup.
First of all, I'm going to put an oxygen absorber in here, put it in here, just kind of lay it flat, get the air out, and then with a household iron, I'm just going to seal it shut. Just like that. It's so simple and so economical.
Food stored in Mylar bags should last about 5 years.
We do recommend that you check your kit every 6 months. It's really easy to remember. Every time you change your clocks, change your kit.
Building up your disaster food kit can be inexpensive and easy, keeping these tips in mind. Buy what you like. Pick up something for your kit every time you go to the store or buy in bulk. And always stock the newest items in the back of the shelf, gradually moving items to the front as you eat them so you don't waste anything.
If it's a flood or some kind of situation like that, we're not first responders. So it's really important that you are prepared, that you're able to last the amount of time until the Red Cross is able to get there.
No matter how you choose to store your emergency food, you should keep your kit in a cool, dark place like a closet and regularly check the expiration dates, even on water. And Eyewitness News wants you to be ready for any disaster. On Saturday, November 2nd, we want you to join us for Get Ready Kern County. We'll have an in-depth look at the most serious disaster threats here in our area, show you what local agencies are doing to prepare, and provide life-saving tips to make sure you and your family are ready. Again, that's this Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on KBAK. And if you miss it then, we'll be showing it Sunday at 6 on our sister station KBFX.